I'm interested personally, frankly, and what are we all doing wrong? What are you going to tell me today that I'm doing that I think, oh, God, he just said I shouldn't be doing that, and he's right?
Sometimes it's really painful to be in business. You've got everything at stake, you've got your reputation at stake, and it's just not working. And we fall into these traps of being impatient, of being self-absorbed, and of being selfish. We say, oh, I bought this ad, so I have the right to put it in front of you. We say, I only have 3 weeks to make my marketing campaign work. Well, if you really needed it to work in the next 3 weeks, you needed to start 2 years ago. And we get self-absorbed. We say to ourselves, I understand my business. I'm in it every day. So I'm going to assume everyone else understands my business, as opposed to taking a step back and realizing no one owes you their attention and no one owes you their money. And so when we bring humility and generosity and clarity to the way we do business, all the mistakes go away.
So practically speaking, so I'm self-absorbed, I'm just pushing stuff out of you, my product is so great, you should get it, and that's not working. So practically speaking, how do I change that mentality? What do I do?
Well, I love going to farmers markets. And if you go to the farmers market and this guy's got better strawberries than this guy because he's using less of something in it, he'll tell you the details. But no one's waiting there because this guy's got a cuter sign, because this guy's telling a story that's resonating with me. And that's what we do for a living. We tell stories, not slogans, stories. Little Red Riding Hood is a story. Once you've heard it, you're going to remember it for your whole life. And it's something that resonates and that it matches the way we want to see the world. Mm-hmm. So when we see a kid with a lemonade stand, it's different than when we see a vending machine selling lemonade, even if it's exactly the same product, because the story around it is what people are paying for. So when I meet small business people, all I ask them is not what's their balance sheet, but what's their story. Why should I pick you? Why do I care about what you're doing? And if you start giving me all this inside baseball statistics about why you're 2% better than some other competitor, I'm already glazed over, because that's not part of the way I see the world.
So if I'm hearing you right, basically what I need to do is get out of myself, put myself in your shoes, and then better understand how my product helps you from your perspective, not from mine.
Exactly. So Steve Kruger's written this great book called It's Not Rocket Surgery. That's brain surgery plus rocket science. And what he recommends you do is you set up a video camera and you have people visit your website, and then you watch them do it. Right? Or you stand in the store and watch people walk up to where your product is, and they didn't pick it up. Why didn't they pick it up? And then you go over and change the shelf and see if they pick it up. I've spent lots of time in bookstores where I will actually put my books in the store that the store didn't have and just stand there and watch to see who picks it up and see what they see in the back cover. And if they walk away, I'll walk over to them and say, was that book interesting to you? And I can understand what they're seeing, because they're the ones who are buying from you, not you.
You have some really interesting examples in one of your books, The Purple Cow, about how we think about spending marketing dollars on marketing, right? Traditionally, it was on television and ads in magazines,
Sure.
And now maybe it's on Facebook or search engine marketing. But you say a lot of your marketing dollars should be spent on the product itself.
Exactly. So what we grew up with was Mad Men. Mad Men was advertising and marketing with the same thing. If you spend enough money on advertising, you would succeed. But now that's over. So what we're left with is the product is the marketing. Look, we got Google, we got Facebook, we got eBay, we got Amazon. None of them spend any money on advertising. They spend all their money on making something people will talk about. So if you think about the Leaning Tower of Pisa, now they didn't make it lean on purpose. But if you ever go to Pisa, there's tons of tourists there, because if you see the Leaning Tower, you can talk about it when you go home, right? Where it doesn't matter that just 100 miles away is the Parthenon, which is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. It's subtle. It's not easy to talk about. So the question is, are you going to build something that's as interesting as the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Are you going to make a product or a service that when people are done using it, they can't help but tell their friends about?
And can you communicate that in a really easy way?
That's right. The story is all that's going to spread, not the facts,
right.
but the story.
Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. All right, well, Seth.